Yeah, no, obviously it was good to get a win last week, get our players feeling good, confident. But we are still fighting to play clean football. And, when you look at that game and you watch it over and over, the details of performance we have to be so much better at. And I think that's been a point of emphasis with the coaching staff, for us as coaches to do our job and be able to put these guys in position to be successful, whatever that looks like at your position. I tell our coaches all the time, you are the head coach of your position. And if you're the head coach of your position and we're asking the kid to do something that he may not physically be able to do or mentally be able to do, we have to clean those up for the players. So we are fighting for the details of performance. I really like what I saw this morning, from the team. And we got to continue to clean things up because we are playing a very good football team this week in Bowling Green. I have a lot of respect for what Coach Loeffler is doing. Obviously, I think he's an offensive wizard. We played him in 21, and all week we were prepared for unbalanced jet sweep, and then he brought unbalanced jet counter. So I told our players, whatever you see on tape, they're going to do opposite. And I think he does a great job of putting his guys in position to be successful offensively. Obviously the quarterback is a really, really good player, throws a great ball. The offensive line knows how to do their job. The running backs are downhill physical runners. And then a tight end, number 0. Obviously, they're going to find a bunch of different ways to get him the ball. He has tremendous run after the catch. The most important thing is I'm glad the kid stayed at Bowling Green. I'm sure people tamper with the kid and offered him a bunch of money, but I'm glad he stayed at Bowling Green. And I think some of our best players in the MAC need to stay at their respective schools. You see the kid the quarterback from Toledo went to Baylor, and now he's a backup, and the running back from Toledo is at UCF. I mean, our best players need to stay in this conference, and you can be productive players as this tight end is showing. And then obviously defensively, they do a great job defensively, playing a 3-down front, a 4-down front, very similar to what we've seen the last couple of weeks. So 3 weeks in a row, we've seen similar type defenses. Their D-line is very, very aggressive up front. Their linebackers, those two guys at the linebacker position is probably as good as what we've seen, very similar to Buffalo. And then the back end of their defense, they know how to play. And then, if they get you on some 3rd down, you're going to see some cover 0 blitzes, or you're going to see some things from a defensive perspective that can make you very, very uncomfortable on offense. So we have to make sure we have a great plan for that. And then special teams. They're very, very sound on special teams, very, very aggressive on special teams. They got a punt returner that, he's going to bring it out. He's going to try to return every kick. Their kickoff returner is going to try to return every kick. So they put a lot of pressure on you in a return game. Their punter, I believe, leads the MAC in punt average. And then they got some tricky formations on the punt team. I think number 15 is a guy that, in theory, he looks like a guard, but he's an eligible player. So they run a fake. I'm sure they have other fakes available to them. So we have to have all hands on deck from a special team standpoint to make sure we understand the urgency of those plays, and those plays can change games. So have a lot of respect for BG. They're in our pod. So we know what that looks like. Sound like it's going to be a whiteout, which is fantastic. Sound like it's going to be a great crowd. I love going on the road in MAC games. I just love getting our team together and going on the road and playing together as one. And I think it'll be a great atmosphere for us to go out there and compete and try to play our best football this week, because we have to play our best to give ourselves a chance to have a chance to compete the way we want to compete.
Coach, a little surprised, as you said, you need to clean up in certain areas. After 5 games, a little surprised you still have to do that?
No, I mean, that's football, right? Every week you have to clean up something, right? This is not a game of perfect. And so we have to continue be able to put guys in position. And what happens in football is sometime now you get to this point of the season, you're playing guys that haven't played as much because of different scenarios. So now these are their first opportunity to get meaningful snaps. So those are the things that everybody is dealing with at this point in time. But football is the one sport where you have to constantly continue to work on the details of performance. And so I'm not surprised. That's part of it. Even in NFL games, that's part of it every week. So, that's just something that we have to make sure that when we're watching the practice tape, and if somebody can't do it on Tuesday or Wednesday, we can't assume they can do it on Saturday.
Coach, you always talk about being able to utilize the 4 games that players can get. Are there any guys that have stuck out on the compete team that might get the chance to travel this week?
That's an excellent question. Our compete team is freaking phenomenal. I love the way those guys compete. We just have a deeper team than what we've had in years past. So even if a guy is close to playing in 4 games, he's got 2 or 3 guys in front of him. But I would like to get, some of these guys some snaps. Lance Ingold is a DN that we would like to play at some point in time. We got some young backs that are really, really good, but they got some guys in front of them. So, we playing George Demopoulos. We have another receiver, LaDon Bryant, who certainly can play for us at some point in time. We have a safety, Taylor Powell, who can give us an opportunity to play at some point in time. We have a linebacker, KJ McCray, who's ready. He just got guys in front of him. So, and then our special teams, we got a lot of guys that's been with us a long time playing special teams. So, normally you insert guys on special teams, but, those are critical plays in an important third of the game. So we have some guys that we feel like have the ability to do it. It's just a matter of, just getting an opportunity.
What's the status on Browder now?
Well, he's fighting to get back to play. So, obviously there'll be an injury report on Saturday, right? And so you'll know his status 90 minutes prior to the game. But he's working his tail. He wants to play. And so we're going to give him every opportunity to do that.
Coach, looking at this Bowling Green defense, I know there might be some familiarity on your end. You have Derek Jackson, your former DC, as their pass game coordinator, and then C.J. Brown starting at safety. So what are you kind of expecting to see from that secondary?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I spent a lot of time with Derek here, and he's one of my good friends, and have a lot of respect for him as a coach and what he brings to the table. You can see some of his things show up on the defense with. They got double edge. They got 3-2 aside, and they want to bring cover 0. So you see some things from a strategy standpoint of him having an input on that defensive staff. And then obviously CJ graduated from here, went out and recruited him, played a lot of good football for us, so we respect him. We know what type of player he is, and obviously, we got a tremendous challenge with the back end of their defense.
The guys getting used to the 3-man front on defense. You said like the 3rd week in a row now.
Yeah, no, we got a lot more comfortable last week, and hopefully, we get a little more comfortable this week because obviously each front and each defense we've seen the last 3 weeks are a little bit different. They have different tendencies. So, but I think we've gotten a lot more comfortable in that front and what it presents, the challenges that it presents. And I think, for us, we trying to continue to get better up front because we have to be able to win up front. That's how we win games, and I thought last week they took a major step in the right direction.
Coach, last week you talked in the press conference before the game the importance of the return game. What did you see from punt? And obviously you got a big kick return from Jalen Poe later on in the game.
Obviously the win was a factor last week, so we thought we had an opportunity in the punt return game, and then their punter – he kicked a phenomenal kick into the win and did a great job in that regard. And then kickoff return, they were kicking into the win a couple times and kicked one out of bounds. And the one that we returned almost went out of bounds. We got to have clear communication with that. But, like what I saw from the kickoff return team, I think it's been our longest return since Trayvon Rudolph against Bowling Green, to be honest with you. So, that changed the game. So we got to continue to work in those areas to be clean with our technique, to be clean with our blocking, and give our returners a chance to return the ball.
I've been able to watch the film. I've been able to absorb the performance of Poe and Williams. What do you see out of them that was working so well that has you confident that if Brown's unavailable and unable to play, that they're able to continue their success going forward?
Yeah, I think every back in our program can be successful. We're always going to have really good running backs. That will be a standard. as long as I'm here. So, but every back is a little bit different, all right? They bring something different to the party. So I thought last week those guys ran extremely physical, was able to get their pads square, get downhill and attack defenders and make guys miss, and have run after contact. And I think, when you can constantly get 3 or 4 yards and allow yourself to stay normal down the distance, that puts a lot of pressure on the defense. So, like I said, I like how those guys ran. They got to continue to run that way. And like I said, Brown is fighting his tail off to get back this week, and I'll be excited when he does.
Coach, you've talked in the past weeks about how you've dealt with dual threat quarterbacks for most of the season. Now, with this one, Connor Bass, like you say, he throws a great deep ball. What do you kind of see from him? Do you think he can be a dual threat, or is this one of the first weeks you'll face a passer that purely uses his arm?
No, their offense, obviously, I think he has the ability to pull the ball when he wants to, because he carries out all of his ball fakes. If an opportunity presents itself, I'm sure he will run it. So, this point forward, you have to treat every quarterback as they have the ability to run the football. So the way they do their scheme, obviously they can, hit a guy in the flat to attack, and it becomes a triple option type look from that standpoint. But also the third part of the triple option is the quarterback getting vertical. And sometimes, a guy running 5 or 6 yards is just as critical as, anything else that you do. So this guy can run. He has patience in the pocket. He's going to hold on to the ball and allow guys to get open. He has very subtle movement skills. I'm very impressed with the quarterback that they have.
Quarterback situation for you guys, depending how the game goes Saturday will dictate who will be on the field for you guys.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Coach, it has been a few weeks since you had the first action game. Does it feel like kind of a brand new season now that the rest of the season from here on out is just action play?
Well, I explained to our team, we in last place of the MAC, so we want to get out the cellar. So we have to play really, really good football. These games matter. BG is in our pod, and so obviously it's like a division game type feel. And it's a really good football team. You look at their schedule; they played Penn State and Texas A&M really, really tight. And obviously, this is a well-coached football team in all 3 phases. So we got to come out with our best football. We have to be able to take care of the football on offense. It has to start there. And if we take care of the ball on offense, then that increases our chances of playing the type of football we need to play.
And then for you guys last week, how big was it to get the turnovers and the stops that you did, and what can you see from the last few weeks on the defense that you can build on?
Yeah, I think, defensively, obviously getting a turnover early in the game allowed us to, score very, very quickly and create some momentum. And then obviously, being good on third down is like a turnover. So we got to continue to do that. Obviously, BG is going to try to keep it normal down and distance, the way they play. And then we have to know who they trying to, who their go-to guys, because they have some clear go-to guys that they want to get the ball to. And so you have to be able to sift through all the eye candy, the misdirection, the formations, the different things that they present, and understand what they're trying to do to attack you.
And then I guess I got one final one for special teams. I know the kicking game, as far as it pertains to field goals and extra points, hasn't been perfect over the week. What are you guys working throughout the week to make sure that you guys execute on those units?
Yeah, no, it's a combination of things, to be honest with you. The holder has to do a better job of setting the ball down and allowing Cannon to be able to kick. And I think that's something that people really probably don't even notice. But it's a reason they spin the ball and spin the laces opposite of the kicker to give him an opportunity to make his kick. So, obviously it's like a quarterback, right? When the quarterback throws an interception, everybody blames the quarterback. But what if the wide receiver ran the wrong route or the offensive line didn't block? Well, the same thing with kicking. Cannon is working his tail off. We got to do a good job around him so he can go out there and execute doing his job. So he made a tremendous kick against Notre Dame. We have a lot of confidence in them, and those things are things that we got to continue to work on to improve. And that goes back to the details of performance. And that's at all positions. That's offense, defense, and special teams. Our details of performance is critical for us to play the style of play that we want to play.
Have you tried some different holders, or that's kind of the specialty, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you start messing with the holder, right? And then all of a sudden he's a little bit different than what the kicker is familiar with. So we just got to just clean it up from that standpoint and allow Cannon to have a chance to, play his best football. And I think that's important.
Yards last week. I know you guys have talked about in the past as the offensive line, if you could run the ball every play, you would. But what type of confidence does it give you guys going into MAC play, having a performance like that?
Yeah, it gives us a lot of confidence, especially with the experience up front that we got. We kind of felt like throughout the game that we were able to take control of the line of scrimmage. And credit to UMass, they played extremely hard and they were very physical. And they're a very good group, so credit to them. But we felt like we could take control of the line of scrimmage, and it gives us a lot of confidence going forward.
Talk about that experience up front. How much of it at this point is just second nature to you guys? Obviously, what you guys run, just because you've been here for so long.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot, obviously, with how many starts we got up front. So I think it's easy when we're seeing different fronts each and every week to have the confidence in each other that we're going to go out and do our job. And I think that was kind of shown last week against UMass. They gave us kind of a different front than we're not really used to, or that we don't see a whole lot in the MAC. So just having that confidence in each other definitely helped out a lot.
I'll open this up for the defensive guys. So obviously this Saturday you're facing two talented playmakers and Harold Fannin, the tight end, and Terrion Stewart, the running back. Just what are going to be some of the keys to kind of keeping them down when that comes game time?
As far as it goes for the running back, Stewart, we just need to make sure that we get him down. He's very good at making people miss and getting leaky yardage, so we just got to make sure we kill the engine when we tackle him and make sure he goes down.
And, for the tight end, pretty much, just focus on our keys, get him down after catch. He gets pretty good at getting yards after catch, so just eliminate that.
This is also for the defensive guys. So through 5 weeks, you guys have remained consistent week in and week out, putting together quality performances. What do you guys think has been working so far, or is working so well for you up to this point in the season?
I just think that our coaches do a fantastic job at making practice a lot harder than the games are. They try and stress us and give us all the looks that they think we might possibly get and the ones that we'll struggle with. So, we do a good job during the week preparing.
Yeah, going off what he said, Coach B emphasized doing our 111 and focus on the small details. So if we continue to do that, we'll continue to have success.
Jalonnie, we talk a lot about the offensive line, but what's it like for you guys on the D-line to go against that experienced group week in and week out during practice?
It's very nice for us. It gives us a good chance at going against the best all the time. Like Coach Hammock says to us all the time, our O-line and D-line have been going up against the best unit that we'll see since spring. So it's very good. Gives us a chance to perfect our craft against people who are very respectable.
I'll open this up for the guys in the trenches. So, through about 5 games this year, you guys have remained relatively healthy and be able to have a stable unit. How important is that going into, as you enter MAC play?
Yeah, it's extremely important, especially, you get to start building some continuity between each other throughout the season. And I think that's just huge, but I think that's credit to Junie and our strength staff, also our nutrition staff for really helping us feed our bodies what we need, doing what we need to do in the weight room, doing the extra stuff that we haven't really done in the past. And I think that's really been shown on the field of us staying healthy. So it's really huge.
Yeah, I agree with him with taking care of our bodies each day. The D-line, we're doing stuff that we have never done in the past. We're making sure we do extra mobility in the mornings and getting extra stretches in. We emphasized the cold tub a lot this year, so we're just making sure we recover a lot faster in order to keep playing well.
As for JJ, from the defensive standpoint for Bowling Green, what have you seen from them that differs from some of your other opponents this season?
Yeah, they're a veteran group up front, at least the guys in the box. They're a very physical, hard-playing team. We have to do a good job in offense of execute and ball security. They do a great job at punching at the ball. But we've seen some of these guys in 2021, so it's been a few years. They're a little bit younger at that time, but now they've grown old. But, it's a typical MAC team. They're going to be very strong and very physical, and they're going to play really hard.
How much of a point of emphasis has been cutting down on the turnovers in practice this week?
Yeah, it's been a huge emphasis. As you guys can kind of tell, we've been turning the ball over way too much. That's not the standard in our program. The ball is the program, but that's been a huge point of emphasis. Even when we go against the defense, they're trying to rip out the ball, so we got to stay on our P's and Q's with that. But yeah, that's very important to us right now.
For the defensive guys, though, last week you guys got back in the turnover column and you got a lot of third and fourth down stops. What did it feel like to get off the field, especially with your back against the wall a lot there in the second half?
I feel like it felt very nice for us. We were struggling as a defense for a little while, creating turnovers, and we knew it. That's something we really emphasized, and it's something we've emphasized since Coach Benedetto got here. And we just knew that we needed to make something happen. We've been making good plays, we've been getting stops, but we haven't been changing the game, so we wanted to change the game.
Santana? Pretty much goes back to what I said earlier, just whatever, whatever call we get, just execute. Everybody do their 111th and, chance to get the ball back to the offense for them to produce.
I'll open this up for all the guys here. So, through your first 2 road games, you played some pretty big stadiums, Notre Dame and NC State, obviously. Just getting those games and getting that experience, how does that help going to your first MAC road opponent this season, like with a whiteout game?
Santana?
It helps because, in the beginning of the season, you want some type of kickstart to, boost, morale throughout the team. But, still going to take the same approach.
Jalonnie?
I think it was very good for us to play in those 2 big stadiums early in the season because early in the season is when you're not very sure of what's going on and stuff like that. You need more time to mesh, so it's better that we were in hard environments when we weren't 100% of what we had going on. So now going into this whiteout, we'll be in a lot better of a situation and more confident.
JJ?
Yeah, just keep being on the road and stuff, especially in the MAC, is a lot of fun. A lot of hostile environments, and going into Notre Dame, going into NC State, we were able to experience that and kind of see how it feels, and it gets us ready for these this conference games on the road. So it definitely helps out a lot.
Santana, what's been working for you guys defensively on third down these last couple of weeks?
Same thing, just executing. That's pretty much it.
Jalonnie, just what's it mean to this group to be, I think it's second in the country in third down defense?
It feels nice because it's something that we've emphasized since the spring. We knew that if we stopped the run on first and second down, that we have very nice third down packages. We have very nice blitzes, and we have very good people that are on our third down personnel. So it feels nice just to be able to get those people on the field and impact the game.
Yeah, Santana, just kind of the same thing. What does it, feel like having the success that you guys have had and, being second in the country and everything?
It all goes back to, the process and focusing on small details. Coach Hammock, going into the season, emphasized SOAR, and we had an opportunity, blessed to have an opportunity to go into the field and, do our jobs.
This one's for all 3 of you. It's the first season that you guys have the Coach Com technology, and now obviously you still play in these loud stadiums, but it does increase the amount of communication that you have throughout the game. Do you think that helps you guys a lot more than just the traditional coach cards or trying to go back to the sideline in the past?
You have the dots, so go ahead and answer that.
It definitely helps, because sometimes when there's a lot of, hurry up or something like that, I can get the call from coach and, relay it to my team to put us in a good position.
You guys do?
I feel like it helps us a lot, especially as a D-line. You may be on the field and you don't know where the ball hit or where your fit was, but you're able to come off to the field and see the iPads right away, where you're able to find out which gap the ball hit and who's not fought, but who can be better in the situation.
JJ, does that impact you guys?
Yeah, I think it more impacts Ethan in the quarterback position. I think it helps him out a lot because the coach is able to tell them about the situation, what to expect, and then just the play calling and everything like that. It just cleans it up a lot more, and I think that definitely helps out throughout the game. And if the coach needs to tell us something too, he can tell Ethan, and Ethan will tell us. So it definitely helps out a lot.
JJ, on Saturday, I was walking by, and obviously some of the struggles in the first half on the offensive side of the ball. Brock kind of grabbed the offense together and fired him up, to say the least, a little bit. Just what does that say to his passion and his drive on the offensive side of the ball, and what he means to the team as a whole?
Yeah, I thought it was a great opportunity for Brock. Being a fullback, and the kind of person that he is and the way he plays, it kind of was shown right there. And I thought that was great for our offense because we kind of needed a little kick in the butt to get going there. So it's really nice seeing him step up as a leader and really demonstrate that to us, and I think that really helped us out on Saturday.
I know you guys got a win last week, but you're back in conference play. What would a win in this conference game mean for you guys? And this is for everyone.
Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, it means a lot. We're in conference play with the new conference alignment now where everybody plays each other, or everybody's in the same division, whatever you want to call it. You can't lose games. You got to win. If you want to go win a MAC championship, you got to win games. So this one is the most important one because it's the next one, and it will mean a lot to us if we win this.
Jalonnie?
We just need to start fast. It's good. One of our big goals is being 1-0. So this week our focus is just being 1-0 every day, and we get a victory this weekend, then it'll really help our chances towards the MAC championship.
Santana?
Like Jalonnie said, really focus on going 1-0. Taking it day by day, not worrying about this game, the next game, the game after that. Taking it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and so on.